Hey, welcome back to Album April. It's April 28th, and today I listened to Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones. Like with most bands that I've covered this month, it was a toss-up between two albums as to which Rolling Stones album I was going to listen to, Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street. The internet told me that Sticky Fingers is a little bit better, even though it has an exponentially worse name. Sticky Fingers has a lot of connotations, and every single one of them is bad. This is the first studio album they released that was under their own independent studio, Rolling Stones Records. It was also their first album to reach number one in both the UK and America. I think that my biggest impression from Sticky Fingers is that Rolling Stones must have been going through a lot of drug-related issues at the time, because a good number of these songs are explicitly about drugs, like hard drugs. There was a song called Sister Morphine, and it also includes Cousin Cocaine. There's a reference to straight up just doing heroin, talking about being in a room with a needle and a spoon. I don't remember the term Sticky Fingers actually being used in the album even once. Maybe it's some kind of drug reference, I don't know, and honestly, I don't want to know. But once I got past that, this album is actually, good, pretty good. There are a lot of great songs on it, interesting compositions, good lyrics. There were some issues here and there, but overall it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. There are a lot of songs from Sticky Fingers that I could have picked as my favorite. I really liked Sway, I liked Wild Horses, Sister Morphine sounded pretty good, so did I Got the Blues, but I think I'm gonna pick Moonlight Mile. It was this big, powerful song to end the album with, sort of along the lines of Champagne Supernova from Yesterday. There was one song on the album that I didn't like, and that was You Gotta Move. It just felt so out of place. It was like that one song from Rumors. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like this weird, honky-tonk, hee-haw kind of song that just didn't fit. But considering the fact that Fleetwood Mac do kind of have that country folksy spin to it, it's even weirder on this Rolling Stones album because they don't have any connection to that type of sound at all. It was so jarring hearing this on the album. It didn't fit. And even if it did, it still wouldn't have been very good. But still, that's one song, and I would say that the rest of the songs in the album were decent to very good. So yeah, this album does hold up. I think one very natural thing to do with the Rolling Stones is to compare them to the Beatles, because they were both rock bands that came from the same place at the same time and have similar vibes. So how does Sticky Fingers compare to Revolver, which is the Beatles album that I listened to this month? Revolver was a lot more poppy, marketable. It was something that could be made for the masses. I don't know if edgy is the right word to describe Sticky Fingers, but it definitely seemed to have a bit more grit to it. And at least with these two albums, the content, the subject matter of the songs is night and day. The Beatles were making songs about sailors living in submarines, and the Rolling Stones were making songs about being addicted to hard drugs. I'd say when putting the albums side by side, they're about the same in quality. Revolver was more consistent. This had higher highs but lower lows. Considering the fact that I listened to Revolver a few weeks ago, I don't think I'm fully equipped to make a direct comparison between the two, but I'd say that they're about as good as each other. And it seemed like there was a market for this type of Brit rock for a very long time, since I could make multiple comparisons between this album and the one from Yesterday by Oasis. That didn't really have much to do with the album itself, it was just something I wanted to bring up. And with that, that's the end of the video. I'll see you tomorrow.